have a now.
Okay, well, welcome to Connecting and Promoting Women. It is such a joy to see so many new faces today. And before we begin, I would just love for us to get grounded and centered. I know everyone's so excited to meet one another, but I just want us to bring our energy here. And let's just take a deep breath, feeling our feet on the floor and knowing that we are safe and secure. May you have a sense with each breath that you profoundly belong and you are connected to something so profound. You take in and smell the delicious air of spring and know that playful energy and renewed passions surround you. Feel that energy from the ground moving up to your abdomen and know that you are so deeply empowered to bring your message and your impact to the world. Take another breath and pull that energy from the ground up into your heart and know that you are so unconditionally loved. There's nothing you have to do or prove to be enough. And with another breath, bring that up to your throat, knowing that you are able to speak what is so important to you with clarity, conciseness, and your words are broadcasted to the right people that need to hear it. With one more breath, bring your attention up right between your eyes and know that your internal divine feminine wisdom, may that be louder than anything ego or doubt may say to you. And at the top of your head, visualize a beautiful spring blossom and know that the fragrance that is released from this beautiful bloom, may that be the impact that you make within the way that you lead yourself, within the way that you lead your family, your community, and the way that you lead in the world around you. Happy spring. And you can come back into this moment. Thank you, everyone, for being so willing to go on a spring journey through the energy centers of the body. I'm going to give this away to Karen, who is going to tell us about our mission.
Thank you. So in the last several months, we've been working, the board and myself, we've been working on our evolution of what Gateway to Dreams is. When people used to ask me what we are, I actually couldn't describe it because it's helping people, it's connecting people, and we ended up with what has always been true about us is to be the change, to inspire action, to give voice and clarity to the dreams of individuals, creating a ripple effect that positively impacts the social and economic well-being of our community. We have so many stories, and I think that I want to start sharing them. In fact, Heidi, let's talk about that maybe each meeting we bring one story to share. We are strength-based. We believe in heart-smart connections and collaboration, intentional inclusion, to have a social and economic impact. We want to engage more with the corporate community so that they can hopefully do business with our clients, our members, and support our nonprofits. And we believe that all of us have our own unique talents and capabilities to help the world. And I don't know what assets mean right now. This is not the latest one, so forgive me. I guess probably it's that all of us have assets that we can utilize. Next. When we were starting Gateway to Dreams, we used to meet from July to October of 2013. Karen was part of this, what we call the launch ambassadors. She passed away in 2019, but her spirit of love and support, we created cards that we used to give out at meetings that if you did a random act of kindness, you could do it in tribute to Karen Garcia. And this is the brilliant Tiffany Huckelman. If you have not ever attended one of her workshops, she is brilliant beyond and helps solopreneurs. And I would say solopreneurs and the small nonprofits that need more structure to be better businesses. Each month we look for sponsors. It's only $100. If you would like to be a sponsor of our Connecting and Promoting Women event, we also record these and they can be heard beyond who is on the call today. And now I'm going to turn it over to Heidi Maxwell, who was blessed to become part of Aspire.
Thanks, Karen. Good morning, guys. I'm Heidi Maxwell with Aspire Construction. I'm the company coordinator. We're a general commercial contractor in the St. Charles, St. Louis area. We've been in business a little over 3 years. We're doing extremely well. We do some really big jobs for us, about 2.5 million. We did the Student Center at the St. Charles Community College. We've also done their police station. We do small jobs. So last month I talked about our big jobs, but we also do things where we just tear down a wall. We'll come in and demo your office space and make it the way that you want it to look. Grant Kruger is our owner. He has 20 plus years experience with Peric and Ben-Hur. Just a really great, helpful guy. If you have any questions about construction or remodeling and you just want to get an idea of what it means, what it looks like, he answers those questions. He just talks at your level, makes it super understandable, and takes the fear out of, for us as women, especially business owners, not knowing how to have a space and how to make it work for us and the high ticket item, you know, but he really can break it down for you and help you understand. So I feel extremely grateful to work here. Do you guys have any questions for me?
And this is more corporate or business buildings, not residential.
True, yes.
So if you work within a company or you know any company that needs to remodel, or with COVID, there's been a lot of, I think, reconstructing space usage. Heidi and Grant are the people to talk to.
Do you
Well, thank you guys.
do you
Thank
do
you.
just remodel, or do you do from the ground up also?
We do from the ground up. The police station at the St. Charles Community College was our first ground up building. And we have another one that's getting ready to start this summer.
Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that leads us to what is next, which is the getting to know you section. Here we are going to give each other 1 minute and we're going to go into a breakout room. And I would like for everyone to pull up your smartphone if you have one near you, and move to the button that looks like this one here, where it's you can have a timer and you can set it for 1 minute. And the first person to enter the room, that is going to be the timekeeper. So the first person that arrives in the breakout room, that will be our timekeeper. And as each person shares, you'll have 1 minute to do a short introduction. And also, if you would be willing to download this script, it is in the chat. You can click on it. That way you can kind of have 2 tabs open, so you can be able to see that, or you can even take a photo of it with your phone. And that can help guide you. So we will have, and then Tiffany will take us away to the breakout rooms. I'll give an example of how that works. Let's see if I will go ahead and set my own timer. And I will say, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger here for us. I mean, for me, my eyes, over 50. Let me get my little, I have new customer messaging, so I might have to look at my script here a bit. All right. So I can't do both timing it, but
I'll time you.
time me. Okay, thank you. So hi, my name is Sheva Pincus, and I am a mindful facilitator and an online gathering guide and consultant. I help coaches increase their revenue and results with more engaging and effective live online gatherings so that their clients will stay, play, and pay for years to come. Whether you're launching a webinar, a masterclass, group coaching program, or you just host online gatherings, together we can overcome the flat, colorless online drab and create colorful dynamic gatherings which lead to a spectrum of results. I'm looking for partnerships and connections with coaches as I'm continuing to do research and development. In my professional life right now, I'm looking to create more speaking opportunities. In my personal life, I need nature. I'm going to go to the botanical gardens later this evening. If anyone wants to meet me there, they're open later tonight. And in the next 60 days, I'm looking to, yes. So then I'll just stop right there. So sometimes it's hard to time it at 60 seconds. I am so excited for you all to meet one another. Tiffany is going to do the magic to getting you into the breakout rooms. And we'll see you when you get back.
All right, so there's gonna be about 3 people in each room. So I'm gonna give you about 5 to 6 minutes. And I will send you a 1-minute warning when you have a minute left. So happy networking.
Hey, Tiffany.
Hey there, how are you?
Good.
Are you not going into a room?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm up. Thank you, everyone. If you would like, I would love it. We would love it if you put your name, your contact information that you want to share in the chat. That way we can continue these connections after the meeting is over. And a little tidbit that I heard today or yesterday was a lead has an expiration date of 3 days. So if you met someone that you had a spark with, try to connect with them in the next 3 days. So it stays nice and juicy. So I would love to introduce our speaker, which is Deanna Lay. Am I saying it right? Deanna? Deanna.
Yeah.
She is the co-founder and visionary CEO of I Know a Guy and Gal. The IKAGG is an online and in-person community that provides growth and support opportunities for business owners and professionals through 5 different branches. Those branches are Connect, networking, to business networking, the IKAGG directory, social events, and the Facebook groups, which operate under the philosophy that together is amazing. The simple philosophy has a profound effect. It means that when we all pull together in the same direction for the benefit of others, amazing things happen in our lives and in our businesses. Through this, and with the support of her husband, Chris, and of the IKAGG team leaders, Deanna has built a multi-state organization of inclusion, collaboration, and both personal and professional growth. Welcome, Deanna. We can't wait to hear your talk.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. I have 15 minutes, right? I want to make sure I set my timer so I can stay on track. Well, today, everybody, I'm going to ask you to buckle up. I have a lot to share in a time period that, there we go. It was taking a minute. It gave me a heart attack there for a second. I'm all about helping people realize their potential, not only in their lives and their business, but also the value that they can bring to the table as an impactful connector. Now, this whole establishment, this organization that we are a part of today is all about connecting and promoting women. So hopefully through my story, you will be able to learn how to be an impactful connector, not only in your life, but in your business as well. So let's get going. What do you say? Da, 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 da. So today's chat, I'm going to cover a couple of things. I'm going to talk about my life from being a teacher to a connector and how life is a journey. I'm going to talk about how an idea took flight and how it's important in our own lives that we never settle for mediocrity or for mundaneness. I'm going to talk about paving a new lane and what the 3 pillars, a way that you can create your own connect-based relationship through these pillars as well. And then I'm going to share how much I believe that relationships matter and that being a true connector, an impactful connector, can follow suit when you put relationships first. So a bit about me. I started out as a teacher, graduated from SLU in 1995. I taught for 9 years. That's all I ever wanted to be in my life. From the time I was in 2nd grade all the way through college, I wanted to be a teacher. I ended up leaving the teaching field and trying to start my own business, which did not work out, which put me into the realm of being an employee and working for somebody else. And I made that somebody else a whole lot of money. And when I realized that that whole lot of money being made for somebody else and the value wasn't there, he didn't see the value in me or the strengths that I brought to the table, started looking for other opportunities and came across a franchise where I could not only have a tutoring company, which is what I was doing before, but I could stay in the education field, which was near and dear to my heart. And that franchise took me out to Colorado, but because of the signature on a piece of paper by our federal government, unfortunately, the funding for that business went away, as did my livelihood. So I had to look for an opportunity elsewhere. Hence, me becoming a franchisee for an amazing company called N2 Publishing. N2 Publishing, I sold advertising. That's where my networking started. That's where I learned to sit across from people to determine whether they would be a good fit to be put into the publication that we were producing for the city of Clarkson Valley here back in St. Louis. And I realized how much I loved hearing people's stories. I didn't love advertising sales, but I loved hearing people's stories. And from that passion of sitting across from people and helping people get connected so they could grow their own businesses, ICAG was born. It put me back into the realm of being a business owner, but this time it stuck. It worked because I found my true passion. And that entrepreneurial spirit helped my networking be propelled into a place that I didn't even realize existed. And with a good mixture of my experience and my personality, I went from being a networker who was casting a very wide net, getting to know as many people as I could, to figuring out that depth of relationships is what being a connector is all about. And this is what I want you to take from my little story here. Life is not a destination. If you put a destination on where your life will be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and that is where the blinders are for you, you might miss out on the amazing opportunities and relationships that come along the way. So being open to other paths along the way allows for new and evolving opportunities to enter your life. And being open to expanding your circle, the relationships that you have allows for new and impactful relationships to change your life. So when you're more open and you're focused on what's around you as you are on this journey we call life, versus just where you're going, what your plans are, I have to get from point A to point B, you might stop yourself from opportunities and relationships that could literally change your life and how your life could be used to change others as well. So why ICAG? Why this thing called I Know a Guy / Gal? It's this random thing that really we call our happy accident. My husband and I, Chris, we were selling advertising at the time. I was on all of these Facebook groups, all of these community groups, all these business groups online, and I was sharing our advertising partners' information. Somebody would ask for a roofer. I'm like, oh, I know a great company. Somebody would ask for a plumber or a connection, or somebody just reached out to me 2 days ago, needed to know who somebody that could install blinds in their house was. I'm like, I know the perfect person. And so I started a Facebook group selfishly because I wanted one place to have to be able to refer and recommend people who now were not only my advertising partners, but who I had met through casting that really wide net. And what ICAG did, and it is a Facebook group that you can still find today. It has 16,000 plus people in it. If you're here in the metro area, St. Louis, I know we have people across the country. But what that did is it grew 1,000 people a month for the first 5 months. And I think we couldn't figure it out initially. We were just riding the wave of like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. What it did was it broke down all the barriers that this city tends to have, opened up and expanded everybody's opportunity, and gave people who knew, liked, and trusted their referral partners an opportunity to have a voice. From there, I was still selling advertising. I was riding the wave of this amazing ICAG thing, which was filling my soul. And I met a guy named Bob Bunch. Anybody who's been in the St. Louis networking world for a while, you might recognize that name. He literally hung out for a living. He would be at the same booth at Caldy Coffee. I'd go there for meetings. I'd see him. He was always talking to people. He was always happy. People were always talking to him. People were always coming up to him and getting to know him and shaking his hand. And he was all hugging on people. I'm like, that's the coolest job ever. Now, he did send out cards, which is perfect for hanging out for a living. But when I was able to sit down with him, he mentioned 2 books to me that changed my life, because I said, Bob, I love what you do. I want to do what you do. I want to help connect people and sit across from people and help expand people's opportunities. How do I do that? He gave me the book, The Big Leap. And literally, there's a book called Hanging Out for a Living. I suggest you get both of those. But The Big Leap opened up my eyes. And thanks to Bob Bunch, he will forever be part of my story. He said, Deanna, you are in your zone of excellence. Your zone of excellence is selling advertising. You could do it with your eyes closed, but it doesn't fill your soul with joy. ICAG, what you are building, doing this, is your zone of genius. And literally, when you have those moments in your life literally just stops and you catch your breath and you're like, that sentence alone spoke to my soul so much that from the second I heard it, I couldn't unhear it. I didn't want to unhear it. I wanted to know how to make my dream of helping people connect, collaborate, and grow to be my zone of genius going forward. And when I tell you it was a birthing process, I'm not kidding. It's not like one day you get presented with an opportunity or an idea, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, there we go. Let's just do that. There's a lot that goes into it. And that is really how the Together is Amazing philosophy got its wings and took flight. See, my husband and I have been networking for years and years, but we always left feeling wanting. Like there was something else. Like, come on, there's got to be some way where we can have this depth of relationship, where we're investing more than just the person and the business, but in the person themselves. And together is amazing. When we all pull together for the benefit of each other, the benefit of the group, amazing things really do happen in our lives. When you step outside of yourself and me, and you start thinking about others first and how can I be of value to others, I kid you not, amazing things happen. But in order for that to happen, you have to choose to never settle for the mediocre or the mundane. You know, life is meant to be lived. It's not meant to be settled for. I was settling for selling advertising because it was my comfort zone. I was stagnant. I was complacent. I was comfortable. I was not growing. Growth lives in getting out of your comfort zone and by choosing paths that allow that zone of genius to take flight. Is it scary? Heck yeah. Does it take work? Heck yeah. 4 months, just me, my lovely husband, and a whiteboard created a new lane. We got curious. Curiosity is always something that will give you a win. The more often you can ask, what if? Your dream sensors turn on. What if we could do this? What if this is a possibility? What if? Get curious about your life. If you have a stirring in your soul, get curious. And then instead of choosing to step into a place where there's traffic, where it's busy and crowded and you can't stand out from the crowd because you aren't able to display your strengths and your ingenuity, create a new lane. Pave the way. Create a new lane. You are uniquely you. You bring things to the table that nobody else in this world does. Get to know what those things are, and I guarantee you will follow the speakings of your soul. And then brainstorm the heck out of everything. That whiteboard, we erased it. Well, we took pictures of it, erased it, took pictures of it, blah, blah, blah. We did it so many times over those couple of months. It was crazy. But out of the brainstorming, out of the birthing was something that we had faith in and believed in, but we were able to bring it to fruition. You can dream all day long. Dreaming is amazing, but until you act on what's stirring your soul, until you take that leap of faith, you're just going to be stuck in that phase of no growth. And that's where the pillars of Connect really came into play. That's where we birthed the pillars of Connect. And these 3 pillars can be used in any networking setting, no matter what you do in your life. Collaboration over competition. The only competition you have is you against your own goals. When you have an abundance mentality, knowing that there's enough business for the world to go on and for you to have what is rightly yours and what you work hard to get, it opens up your mind to so many possibilities as opposed to looking at the person across from you thinking that they are your competition. No, they're not. Referrals through relationships. Business happens, but in order for business to happen, trust has to happen first. And when trust happens, it's because a deep relationship has been built. So connect with everyone. Don't discount people. Don't count people out. And then give first and give often. Lead from a place of contribution. Be the most important person in the room only because you are providing so much value that people want to know how to get to know you. So take who you are, put it out into the world and give it freely to others without expectation of receiving anything in return. And guys, whether it's living your life day to day or running your business, relationships matter. It really is all about the relationships. You have to have deep relationships to build trust. That's where business happens. Please write down the book, Give and Take. It talks about this very thing, how there are givers, matchers, and takers in this world. And givers can be at the bottom. Givers can be at the bottom where we're giving so much away that we're not getting anything to fill us back up because we don't know the right way to ask for help when we need it. And givers can also be at the top where they are the go-to when it comes to all things that people need. And then guys, guess what? Gals, I should say, gals. All connecting is networking, but not all networking is connecting. That's super important. Don't you love those little phrases? Impactful connectors. This is the key, y'all. If you want to be an impactful connector, you need to get to know the person behind the business. What somebody does for a living is not who they are. Who they are is just what they do day in and day out. Get to know the person behind the business. I guarantee your life will be better because of it. Everything you walk into, whether it's a room of networking, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a group of people, ask yourself before you walk in, how can I add value to this room? How can I use my strengths and talents and gifts to add value to the people in this room? Sell through the room, not to the room. This is really important. We all have things that we sell. If we're not selling our services, then we have a product that we sell. But when you look at each person that you meet as your next sale, you are stopping yourself from building the best marketing tool in the world. And that is creating an army of marketers for you, because they know what you do so well. They're out there marketing your business for you. But if you're transactional, if you're trying to sell the next person and the next person and the next person, I guarantee you will run out of leads very, very quickly. Be present, be engaged, be likable, be genuine, show up as yourself. Your tribe will be attracted to you. When you give with no expectations or scorecard, the world works in beautiful ways. When you just give freely, and I'm not saying give your product away, I'm not saying give your service away, but when you give your time, your energy, your effort, when you give your knowledge and your wisdom, when you give shares on social media, it will come back around. People will see you as a connector. And when you don't expect anything in return, that's when the biggest amount of beauty happens in front of you. And then follow up. Please, you all, follow up. You have to stay in touch. Relationships take time. They take time to build. They take time to grow. And you have to do the work to stay in touch, to follow up, to reach out, especially now more than ever when life has thrown us a loop for the last 2 years. It's so important to stay in touch with people who you've spent a lifetime building relationships with. That trust doesn't go away, but it does take work to keep those relationships strong. Guys, I'm here for you. I would love a chance to get to know you, see how I can help you, see who I can introduce you to. I am easy to reach and easy to find. So whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook, or here's my contact information, I want to help you connect, collaborate, and grow not only in your business, but in your life as well. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this time. Y'all are amazing. And together is amazing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Deanna, for such a beautiful presentation. So inspiring, right? We're all going to follow up on, getting to know each other with all our contacts in the chat box, right? And make real connections. Does anyone have any questions for Deanna?
Jenny Grace has her hand
Or
up.
comments? Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jenny.
So how can we help you, Deanna, right? You're trying to help us, but how can we help you?
Here's the beauty of what I'm trying to put out into the world is that we can all live in a place of encouragement, support, uplifting, cheerleading, and truthfully, that's where we need each other the most right now. So how you can help me personally is, you want to join the Facebook group? That's awesome. But my mission is really to help people put amazing out into the world. So just show up. Show up for people and it will fill your cup. But don't do so in a way where it empties your cup. Do so in a way where you're getting uplifted, encouraged, and supported and cheerleaded as well. So show up for the people in your life. I guarantee it will come back around. And that really will make my heart the happiest, is when you come back to me and say, hey, I did this and I was able to make this connection. And now I'm able to do this, this, and this because of it. Like, tell me your stories. I want to hear those. That's how you can help me.
That's
Oh,
beautiful.
Yes, Deanna,
I
you
would,
belong.
I would love to invite everybody to visit ICAG, IKAGG, and sign up. You never know when I've used it quite often when somebody asks me and they're not in my field of a reference, like somebody, I can't remember what, somebody needed maintenance, a handyman out in Arnold. I didn't know anybody, and I could go online on ICAG and I got like 5 or 6 referrals from my friend. So I would ask, first join that group and you will see how amazing people share their community with each other.
Yeah. We don't
Anyone
allow
else?
false promos in the group. We don't allow negativity. I've gotten some comments because we don't allow people to bash other people's businesses. We can't be in a Together is Amazing space and allow business bashing. There's enough places on the internet where that can happen. So, and always feel free to reach out to me, especially if you're in the St. Louis area. I guarantee I know a guy or a gal that can help you. And if I don't, I have a tribe of people who would know. And that group is amazing for that. But also feel free to reach out to me personally.
And Patty.
I'm going to give a little testimony here because I am a member of ICAG. When I started the individual sales for health insurance, the model was you have to make 100 cold calls a day. I am not great on the phone. I don't think fast enough on my feet to do that. So I changed my strategy, changed my lane, and decided to network. It definitely is a longer game, but I've been in ICAG 2 years and I'm at a point now where I'm getting referrals from people I don't know. So that tells me, when Deanna was talking about you want to go sell through the room, not to the room. That tells me my name is out there with people. It's gone another layer. So everything that Deanna presented today has worked for me. I will say one caveat, every networking organization has a different vibe and you have to find the one that matches your energy.
True.
And for me, I'm in several networking type groups and ICAG is my go-to because of the culture that has been created there. So that's it.
Thank you. Yeah. Patty's amazing, by the way, everybody. If you don't know her, please get to know her. She's talking about somebody who's curious. She's always asking questions, and I absolutely love that. And when it does come to other forms of networking, guys, there's no shortages of ways to network in St. Louis. I would love to help you find a good fit for you. If it's not ICAG Connect or ICAG B2B, then I'm very well versed in what the other groups are and what they offer, and I can connect you to their founders or their group leaders as well, just depending on what you're looking for, because all networking works. It just works differently for different types of people. So happy to help.
Thank you so much. I want to really let you know that your vibe is a perfect match for the vibe here at Gateway, because we are all about being the change, and that starts with generosity first. And we are so heart-led, mission-driven people, and if you aren't part of Gateway, please consider joining. Keep coming back for our amazing programs, and we'll do more little, tell you more about it at the end. But please stick around. We're just gonna take a brief stretch here. If you need to get up or move around, that's fine. I'm just going to go right into introducing our next speaker while you do that. And we are so lucky to have the amazing Shannon Norman here. Shannon Norman is a compliment and confidence coach and the founder of Accept the Compliment, a movement to encourage people to proudly own compliments with a thank you, rather than the standard, oh, no. Shannon shares her personal experience of how a simple and consistent compliment given throughout Her childhood gave her the power to keep going. She helps others thrive using her strengths and creating a trusting, safe, and non-judgmental space where she works with women leaders through one-on-one coaching, group classes, speaking engagements, and co-creating programs specific to the needs of organizations. A core belief of Shannon's is that everyone should feel included and complimented. The power of inclusion leads to personal and professional growth. Shannon's innate ability to connect with everyone she meets makes her unique. She has over 20 years experience in human resources, including her coaching and developing thousands along her journey. Shannon holds a coaching certification from the International Coach Federation and is a senior certified professional in human resources. And Shannon, with that, we will put our 15-minute timer up. Tiffany might be setting the blue sky timer, right, for 15. So you can kind of be on the lookout for that. Or I can also set my timer in the top.
Yeah, and I can set mine here too. So.
Oh, right. Okay, Shannon, take it away.
Okay, thank you for that introduction. I'm so excited to be here. And Karen asked that I share my story. I'm like, wow, what part of my story? I have some notes that I'll look down at. Probably won't follow a whole lot. Oh, thank you for the timer. I'm going to shut mine off. So about me and what I think might be worthwhile to share. I like to hear other people's stories, and it helps us connect to each other. And then also I like to learn from other people's experiences. So I grew up in a very rural area in Missouri. If you know where Sedalia is, it's the home of the state fair. I grew up out in the country, but the closest town was Sedalia. And everybody looked the same. And I grew up in a very abusive home life, have an amazing mother, but she got married right out of high school, actually got out of high school early and got married and had 3 kids, didn't get college education, and we were her life. And my father was just an abusive man. Looking back, I understand that there's a lot of mental health issues, and I've not had any contact with him for many, many, many years. But our childhood shapes us. And where I grew up, everybody looked the same. And if anybody ever looked different that came into our small country school, then they weren't welcomed. And I knew at a young age that that was not right. I was told, you don't go to Kansas City, you don't go to St. Louis, because that's where people get shot. And it's horrible, bad things in the big cities. And so just grew up really feeling out of place as a child, because everything that I was learning from my father, I knew in my soul was not right. And it wasn't aligned. And then when I would be the one that would be different and naturally connect with people and curious and adventurous, then I was treated badly. So I needed to get out of that for my own good. So I will also say that, because in my intro, accept the compliment, I have to do a plug here. So I won't tell the whole story because that's not the point of this, but the compliment that I got as a child consistently, and I still get now a lot, is about my smile. And I would get that smile, I would get that compliment at the worst of times for me, but the best of times where I was a young child and I felt broken and I felt like I had done something wrong and didn't understand the torture that we went through. And so the compliment, even about how beautiful my smile was, happened at the right time, even from a stranger. And so I'm working on something that has to do with, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Like, that's not true. But anyway, coming back to me. So I was a non-traditional student because my mom finally broke out of this situation my senior year in high school. And so we ended up all running different directions. And that was a day that I stood toe to toe with my father and pointed my finger and point on his chest and said, "You will never, ever hurt me again." And I don't know where that strength came from, but when I am struggling and I need strength, I can take myself back to that moment in a second. And when I do that, then I feel like I have all of the confidence that God can give somebody to say, "You've got this." So that was a huge turning point. And from that time on, it's when I said, okay, I've got to look out for myself. Amazing mom, but she was going through a whole lot. So I was a non-traditional student. I ended up being on my own, living with some friends and a dump of a place, working 3 jobs and going to school. Got my associate's degree, was making $17,000 a year with the state. Thought I was really doing great. And then I started getting promotions. And then it was, well, you don't have a bachelor's degree. Like, well, I need to make more than $17,000 a year. And what am I going to do with my life? Because it just doesn't feel like I'm in a good spot. And I'm still kind of out in this rural area. So one thing led to another. And fast forward to now, I have my MBA and I have my coaching certification and I have my HR certification. And now this is my 25th year in human resources. And you look back and it's like, wow, how did you get through all of that? And I'm a strong believer that God doesn't give you more than what you can handle. And he's there to lift you up and support you and carry you along the way. And he did a whole lot of that through my journey. So I walked towards fear a lot. And I think that's some of where my coaching passion comes out, because I look back and I also look at one of my siblings that is in a whole different place than I am. And I see where my life could have gone. And it was scary. It was hard to face the fear and to go out and at one point I was living in a very, very bad part of a town in a duplex, and I was young and naive. I laugh because when I moved into town, then there was a next door neighbor at one of the rental locations I was at. And he said, if you keep doing that, I'm going to have to write you a ticket. I said, doing what? And he said, you don't need to be a smart aleck. Like, I really don't know what you're talking about. And I don't even remember what the name of what he called it was now, but I was parking the wrong direction on the street. So when, if you're driving along on oncoming traffic, then instead of pulling over and parking on the right, then I pull over and park on that side in front of the house I rented. And I'm like, what was wrong with that? I don't know. I came from the country. But I was extremely naive and look back and like, oh my gosh, living on ramen noodles. And I don't know how I got through some things, but I did. I do know because I have strong faith. So lots of ups and downs in my life. I learned to be faithful and grateful. And anytime, and some of this has been talked about here this morning, anytime that I allowed myself to be a victim and feel victimized, then it seemed like only bad things happened. And I had just such a negative outlook. But whenever I started doing things like having a grateful rock, and I really wish I would have wrote down along the way where I picked things up, because then I could give credit. But I don't remember. But I remember, I think it was a book, but having a grateful rock. And when you make your bed in the morning, then you put the rock or whatever the object is on your bed and you're touching the rock. And it's very intentional. And then you can really focus on what you're grateful for. I woke up this morning. It's going to be a great day. And you place the rock on your bed because you know what? You're going to go back to bed. So there's going to be another opportunity to lift that rock. And that's another opportunity of where I'm going to reflect on what I'm grateful for. So many things like that. I've built all of these triggers into my day every day to force me to stop and be grateful. And that just shifts your mind. I'm really passionate about helping other people. And whenever I do public speaking, then especially when it's in high schools or younger women, then I really like to reflect back on what probably everybody here has gone through, because it wasn't that long ago that it seemed like it was a cutthroat, women stepping on women. And I'm a believer that that's why men are still where they're at, because we weren't helping each other, and we weren't supporting each other and building each other up. And now, I mean, you look around and it's like, oh, what women's group do I want to be a part of? Because we've got it figured out now. And it's heartwarming, and we are making history, and it's just amazing to be a part of that. One essential to life is that we all came from the same place, and we all are more similar than there are differences. And the more we focus on how we're different, the more some people can feel uncomfortable and really have a separation. To the more that we focus on that we all come from the same place, and that we want true inclusion, that everybody has differences, and we all come from different places. We all have differences in so many different aspects. But if we focus on the inclusion, we each are included, we each have a voice, and support each other, what amazing places that we could go. And so I like to look at people and see how we came from the same place, and see myself in them. And I have found that sometimes there are certain people that may frustrate me. And the more that I look at them and think, what if that were me? What do I see about them and me? Then it helps me be more empathetic. It helps me connect with them more. And it fosters a stronger relationship. And not judging, and being curious about each of your stories, right? So I was invited to share this story, but it's killing me because I want to hear everybody else's story of things that have happened with them. So where I'm at now in life, because it looks like we're down to less than 4 minutes, and I don't know if there's time for Q&A and talking. I think so. But where I'm at in life now, I have a beautiful, beautiful family. And I'll say I have 3 kids. They're not all my biological kids, but that's okay. They're my kids. So I have a 31-year-old daughter who is a senior art director here in St. Louis, and just amazing. I became her mom when she was 13, and we bonded like no other. I look back and think God really controlled that, because I was crazy to fall in love with a man that had a single dad of a 13-year-old girl, but it turned out really well. And then because of mental health reasons with my sister, then we took in my niece when she was a teenager. And she's a beautiful young woman that's now married. And I am the closest thing to being a grandma that I will be for a long time, I do believe. So I'll be going to Kansas City tomorrow night to get to see the little baby that was born March 11th. And then I have my son who is 14, and just an amazing, amazing individual, and a wonderful husband. And my husband, my daughter, and my son all have Tourette syndrome. I knew nothing about Tourette syndrome. So, if I have an opportunity to give a plug for Tourette syndrome, I will, because it's something that before I had them in my family, I only knew what was on TV and movies, and it is so misrepresented. So if you ever want to learn more about Tourette syndrome and all of the other things that come along with that, then I would love to talk with you. And so I live in St. Charles County, and had the blessing of meeting Karen through Kathy Lambert. And Lady Z, I see you out there too. It's nice to see you. So I love connecting with people, meeting people, and I'm always interested in helping people increase their connections and grow. So that wraps up my planned story. So I welcome any questions.
Shannon, thank you so much. I don't think we could have planned these two speakers together any better. Their impact, their stories, their purpose are just so interwoven and complement everything we're about here at Gateway. Shannon, thank you so much. What you shared was just so impactful, and I'm sure there's some comments or questions out there. Does anyone have something to share before I can just go on and on and on? I know Listen was moved. Don't mean to put you on the spot, Listen.
When I met Shannon and I heard her story about accept the compliment, and I thought about how one of the first things I do when someone compliments me is to push it away in whatever way I can, which is so disrespectful to the person giving me a compliment. And when Shannon shared her story as a child with that abusive environment and people in school telling her she had a beautiful smile, those people were part of a touchstone, I believe, to bring her forward, to help her, live in that environment, to have the attention off of the negative, not feeling loved home, to people seeing her, to be seen. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And anyone have a question or a comment for Shannon?
I just want to say I really enjoyed, actually, it's really good seeing you again, but I really enjoyed hearing your personal story. And this is really life to me because we all have personal stories, and I'm starting to see more and more, with coaches and people who are talking about trying to help you with your speaking, how powerful personal stories are, and yours is just that. But it encourages me to continue to tell my story, and thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable, because I have been told that it's always all about me, and it's not so much about me. It's about my story is what has caused me to be who I am. And if I can be a light to others, and if they see me standing before them as a woman of strength and grace, it lets them know that they too can overcome. And I just find myself always taking the conversation to a story, a personal story that they can relate to, but also accept the compliment. You challenged me on that not too long ago. And I, like Karen, I tend to want to crawl up under the rock or somewhere and just almost hide as if it's nothing to be ashamed of. And I had a serious accept the compliment challenge yesterday that just kind of blew my socks off, had tears, my glasses covered them up. So, so thank you for that, because you really helped me a lot with accept the compliment.
Oh,
I'm still
that makes
working
me
on it.
so happy. Thank you for sharing it. And, I like analogies, and one analogy that it helped me, and it seems to help a number of people is that when somebody gives a compliment, then it's like a gift. And when they give the compliment, there's the gift. Do you open it and love it and thank them, or do you toss the gift back to them? And when we deflect it, we're really tossing the gift back. But when we open it and we light up and we say thank you and we just feel it, we're opening that gift. And that's why they gave the compliment. That's what they want. And we deserve to have those amazing feelings and inspiration.
There were several comments, and I don't know, Shannon, if you got to see them, but Deanna said, beautifully said. Tia Atkins says that Enezer took the words right out of her mouth. It is important for us to share our stories. They encourage others. Yes, Enezer, it's about you, not about me. Shannon, I can relate to going from a trauma childhood, not making enough, and finally thriving. And I think there was another one. No, that's it. So just so you, oh, Misha, right? Beautiful, Shannon. So thank you for sharing. And again, I want to say thank you, Deanna, for both being part of that. We have what's our timeline like right
We're
now?
now moving into the dream tank section.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're-
And
do you know that we're going to show a trailer, a movie? Since you and I want to be sure, Sheba, you and I are on the same page. Tiffany, did I send it to you or okay?
Heidi's got it.
Heidi
Okay.
has it.
She's sharing it. So yeah, she should be good.
Okay. So we're doing something we've never done before in Dream Tank. We're including 3 dreamers. The first one of this, do you mind, Sheba, if I take it from here or do you have it?
go right ahead.
Okay. So years ago in 2014, actually, Rebecca Now shared a dream to do a reenactment of Elizabeth Cady Stanton. And that now has included, instead of just Elizabeth Cady Stanton from the suffrage days, she now has her own, I can't remember the names. I'm not good at this, guys. But anyway.
We'll tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and Sojourner Truth.
Okay. So what we're going to do is they have a dream of educating the world about women, especially young women, and we're going to see. I think we're seeing a trailer, and then we're going to brainstorm how can we help them get this movie out? How can we help them raise money? And Rebecca and Jenny and Tia, take it away.
Oh, okay. So did we send you the trailer?
I'm not familiar with the trailer. Sorry. Tiffany said I have it.
Heidi, there's that link up there. Just click on
Click
that
here.
and it'll open up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the website link. Well,
We need to make sure you're sharing that part though. Do you want me to do it? Got
I
it.
think I can do it.
Okay. There we go.
Is there a way to make it bigger, this one?
Yep.
Okay, you ready, Jenny?
Yeah, all we have to do is if you can press the
Press play and make sure the audio is engaged. Make sure the audio is engaged. The audio is not engaged, guys.
Heidi, I think when you share it, you need to click that thing at the bottom that says share computer sound.
Share computer sound. Is it on the screen? I'm sorry.
No, it's when you share the screen.
It's on the Zoom screen.
You want me to do it real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay.
This always messes me up whenever I'm doing it. That's why I hired.
I'll hear it.
It was we, the people, not we, the white male citizens, but we, the whole people who formed the Union. And we formed it not to give the blessings of liberty, but to secure them.
The right is ours. Have it, we must. Use it, we will. The indomitable wills of many women are already pledged to secure this right.
I have plowed and planted and gathered in the barns, and no man could head me. I have borne 13 children and seen most all of them sold off to slavery. And ain't I a woman?
Unmoved, we will bear the banner aloft. Undauntedly, we will unfurl this banner to the gale, that the electric flash will but more clearly illuminate the glorious words inscribed upon it, equality of rights. Okay, is this where we start talking?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for watching this. We didn't lose any viewers on that one, did we? Oh, we lost one. Okay, my name's Rebecca now. I'm here in New York City with Jenny and with Tina over there. And I am so delighted. Karen has been a big advocate of what I've been working on, and it was birthed at Gateway to Dreams. And I met Jenny at Gateway to Dreams, and she shared her theatrical background. I looked at her and I said, have you ever thought about being Susan B. Anthony? And anyway, we have a passion, the three of us, for getting the story out, for what life was like for women in the 19th century. And Shannon just shared this incredible story of making a choice to live a different life other than the one she was raised in that was abusive. For women in the 19th century, many of them had no path out because of the laws of the land and custom and authority. And part of our mission is to make present to a new generation where we've come from and how tough it has been for women. And to that end, we perform live in-person reenactments of full speeches. You got a taste of it in that trailer. We have a 22-minute presentation live, and then we answer questions questions in costume as our character. So you can ask Sojourner Truth a question, and she knows her character, her time, and everything about Sojourner, and likewise for Jenny and I and our character. Our mission, of course, everything changed in the last 2 years, as we know, and live events were not a thing. And we are working on and are finishing up a film of the three of us, of which you got some snippets in that trailer. And we want to get it into middle schools, into high schools, into colleges, and to any women's group or public appearance or way that we can use this film. To that end, we're looking to expand our audience. And if you would kindly like our Facebook page, which is Voices of American Her Story, or you would sign up for our newsletter and blog on the website www.voicesofamericanherstory.com. We are going to have the next 4 months full of rich content as we launch a Kickstarter campaign so that we can market this film. And just imagine for a moment having thousands of school children learn the history of where women have been. And I like to say, you know, of all the things that happened to women, it was legal to beat them. They had no right to their own wages. They could not inherit property. They had no legal right to the custody of their children. They couldn't get an education. Almost every profession was closed to them. And it took these three powerful, monumental women to change that. And they were the first ones with no mentors, no way showers to lead the way. And it took generations for us to secure the modicum of rights that women have today. And we have farther to go. To that extent, we wanted to talk about our Kickstarter campaign. We intend to put up within the next week our Kickstarter. We want to raise, we're still debating, 8,000
At least.
to market this and to pay for the filming. So we have learned that, and so we want some input on the levels of prizes for that. And reading some information about Kickstarters and crowdfunding, we have created 7 levels starting at $20 up to $1,000. And any input you can give us. One of the things is this is going to go beyond St. Louis. All 3 of us have friends nationwide, and jump in, guys, wherever you wanna. But we'd like your input. And I'm going to just read the levels and what we hope to offer, and please give us, and then I'll shut up.
Just tell the one thing that Rebecca learned was that everything we offer should be up to what 7% of what we're asking for.
Right, the cost.
Of the cost.
Sheva, did you want to say something? Your hand's raised. Am I talking too much?
No, although we do kind of want to pause soon because we're just about out of time. But
right.
I do want to say that you know how Hamilton made such a splash in the world, and it helped people see, like, it's not like he was an outstanding moral guy, you know, with family and all that. But the thing is that it inspired people about what it took to build a nation is the same steps that it took to build community and have conviction about a dream. These ladies are doing it, and they've been doing it for a lot longer than Hamilton had. And I think that what women took on to make this suffrage path happen is so impactful. And I think we kind of just brush over it all the time. Even as women, we do. We're like, oh yeah, we vote, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, it took Hamilton for us to see, you know, like, oh, wow, they really worked to build our country. Well, women really worked hard just to have a voice. And I really would love to see that we can all get behind that. Karen.
Yeah, since we do need to bring it in, the one thing I would like to ask of everyone on this call is to share it. We will be sharing it from Gateway to Dreams. If you see it, share it. That is the one tiny little thing you can do to help this gain momentum. Donate and share. Donate could even be less than, you know, the $20 or whatever.
Yes.
I
yes.
wish we had time to go through all the things, but if you can give us a link to, well,
I don't have a link to it, but if anyone wants to help us with the prizes, we've got about a week and I can email it to whomever.
Yeah, and also just like acts, how we can help acts, like forward it, pay for a friend to go with you, things like that are action steps, and then you know, post it on a friend's timeline. Things that are we can do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our key right now is to build an audience, and we do that through our Facebook page and our newsletters.
So make sure you guys get to that Facebook page and the newsletter, because then we will for sure see it. But I will also make a commitment for everyone's email address that I have. I will, our Facebook connection I have, I will forward it to you as well. All right.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful.
I think the trailer hopefully inspired all of you, as it has inspired me to give support. All right. So
Absolutely. So we are wanting to do a few shout outs, and then we're going to talk, Missy's going to take over talking about the board and volunteer program. We'll have a closing quote and then our song.
And we're not doing the song, but we're gonna use it as a poem.
Awesome.
We get our hair done and makeup.
So I would love for us, if anyone would like to share how Gateway to Dreams has impacted their life. Now's the time where we really want the people that are here for the first time, or maybe the second or third time, to know that just like our speaker shared, relationships may look like the slow path to profound abundance, but ladies, girlfriends last longer than the boyfriends, the husbands, the kids, everything. It's the girlfriends. So let's really, share some of the ways that this organization has strengthened your life, your businesses.
Something short.
I'll just share that I have created such good friendships, because that was where I was going with it, and that it built up my confidence when my trust was broken, like shattered. It was Karen and the opportunities that I had through Gateway to start shining and becoming more trusting of myself, more trusting of my relationships, and more trusting of the impact and change I can have in the world. Listen, tell us everything.
Let me turn my camera back on, but I just wanted to say it's wonderful to be a part of this group. Like, I can't remember what year, but Angela Garland, she spoke at one of the Joy of Goals things and told us this wonderful story about her mountain climbing adventure. But it's like this group, the networking, now she's listed this year as one of the 100 people to know in St. Louis business magazine. So it's just like, wow, don't you want to dream with people who climb mountains and they're the best people to know in St. Louis?
That's a good one. I like that. Listen. And now she also owns Exit 11 in Washington, Missouri, and bringing her coffee shops to St. Peter's soon. So thank you, Listen. I'm going to say for myself, this community is been life-changing and life-enhancing for me. The people I've met, the stories, the connections, Deanna talked a lot about the connecting, and that's what we do here. We make lifelong connections. It's about the relationships and the people.
And I just want to give one more reminder that one of the most amazing miracles that has come out of Gateway to Dreams is the Be the Change magazine. And if you do have something that you would like to promote about your business or the impact that you want to see happen in St. Louis, make sure to get that get with Karen to talk about how you can get an ad or a sponsorship in that magazine. And with that, Missy, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Well, to run this amazing organization, Karen has a team of fabulous women behind her. She's added Dawn Berry to her board. Dr. Marty Casey and Deborah Leanne have moved not off the board, but they are emeritus within this board now. And it does take a village, a team of strong and dream-worthy individuals to keep this amazing foundation going. In addition to that, we have a slew of volunteers that are also behind the scenes. I am grateful to be here as your co-chair of CPW. I share in that with Heidi Maxwell and our fabulous founder, Karen Hoffman. So there's many opportunities to volunteer. If you are interested, please reach out to any three of us, as well as Sheva. She is a key part in keeping so many things going in here, as well as Joy of Goals, along with Michelle Perry, and our fabulous Jenny Grace takes care of Write Your Book Right Now with Shelley. And that's who's behind the scenes right now.
Missy, thank you so much for that inclusive share. And
my pleasure. And in addition to that, like any nonprofit organization, it takes donations and contributions to keep these programs going, to keep the lights on at Gateway to Dreams. It's our hopes that in the very near future, we will be meeting again in person. So every little bit, a lot of bit helps. So feel free to go to our website and contribute in any way that you feel called to do.
And I just want to give one more reminder that the people that are on this meeting, if you could just even choose one person that you've never had a conversation with, have the courage just to reach out and make that connection. Initiate with that sense of courage, that trailblazing spirit that Jenny and Rebecca and Tia demonstrated for us, because without collaborating together, how do we get stronger? How do we make an impact? Let's do this. Go ahead and take that quote away,
So
Missy.
our closing quote today is, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." And I think with everything that was shared today, just if you can always be in that sharing and grateful place, anything is possible and everything always works out exactly as it's supposed to.
We're going to do something different for I Am Responsible. I talked with Pookie about turning it into a poem instead of a song, and she was 100% agreeable. We haven't finished what the poem will look like, but I'm going to do my walkthrough of what I think it might look like for us. And I'm going to change it a little bit. We are responsible. We are responsible to leave the world a better place. We look around the world and what do we see? So many things are in a state of need. Pain and suffering are all around us. I won't stand by, we won't stand by and just let this be because we are responsible. Everywhere, everyone wants to be free. Some look around and say, it's not me. How can they close their eyes and not see? It all comes down to me, we, because we are responsible. We're responsible, accountable, dependable, invincible, capable, incredible, responsible to leave the world a better place. Again, this is in work. We're going to turn it into a poem, but in my heart of hearts, St. Louis cannot change until we accept responsibility for where we are. It's not about pointing our fingers at everyone else. It's about what one thing can I do? What one person can I help? What group can I support? And then we are responsible for the change we want to see. Thank you all for coming. Deanna, a special thank you. Connie had to leave. The women for the Suffrage Act are getting ready to fly back to St. Louis, so we thank them again. But welcome every one of you, and next month bring a friend, and hopefully in June we will be face to face and hopefully somehow zooming it too. So thank you guys. Anybody else with a comment?
I just want to say I signed up on Facebook to follow Jenny, Rebecca, and Tia. So you ladies
Yay!
rock on.
So much.
Thank you.
We,
Thank you.
we appreciate it.
We
Oh, you are
appreciate it.
still there. Okay.
Of course, we're
Oh,
still
yeah.
here.
It's just.
You have a plane to catch.
In.
Okay. Love you guys. Thank you.
Love you
Bye.
all. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.